won against Netherlands, and Germany and Australia drew. Alongside me, Dan Strange, I've got former India coach Cedric D'Souza, and next to Cedric, Anna Flanagan, Australian international, 171 caps to her name. Welcome along to you both. It's been a fantastic day of action and a great game between Australia and Germany.
Well, I think if you look at this game, it was a game which actually both teams should have been able to, it's a good draw, a good result. Could have gone either way. A lot of chances gone both ways. But I think in the end, a good result, a 2-2 draw.
Quite fiery in the end.
I think, you're trying to get that goal. You're going to push forward. At times you lose concentration. Sometimes there's a little bit of argy-bargy on the ground. That's normal because you're trying to get a goal. But I think in the end it was fair right through. And I think, from a perspective of a game situation, a good result. It could have gone either way, but a good result.
And Anna, from an Australian's point of view, really briefly, happy with 2 draws so far?
Yeah, look, I think it was exactly what Cedric said. It was a really even game, same as against India. Germany probably had the better of Australia at the start, but they really pushed hard. So I think they may be disappointed that they gave the lead away in the end, but it was really even, so I think they should probably be happy with a draw.
And some fantastic goals. I mean, great to see the likes of Blake Govers get back on the score sheet again. 42 international goals in about 49 games now. That's an amazing strike record.
Well, I think, if you look at that penalty corner, he has that ball. The ball is bobbed out. He still has the strength on the ball to move towards it. He moves towards his right-hand side, and then he slings the ball right across from the other corner. I mean, it was great stuff. Improvisation at its best.
A late goal from Martin Harner. You don't want a better player than that, stepping up, and he doesn't score often, but took his opportunity. He's
a world-class player, he knows when pressure, how to handle pressure, but the important thing is, he took that flick. It wasn't a very powerful flick, but it was angular, and just at knee height, so the goalkeeper is stuck between going down or coming up, and goes between. It just hit Tyler Lover's pads and went inside. Perfection at its best.
We're going to see all the goals from today's action now, and we have seen some brilliant stuff. Starting off, well, here is the Australia-Germany game. Well, Germany really came out the gates quickly. A milk cow got the goal. Cedric, great finish.
Well, I think the whole game started with Team Urus playing that ball to Fook. Fook plays the ball, it deflects off of Mark Knowles, and then comes on to Marco again and just slashes that ball. And here's Govers at his best, actually. He knows there's a ball coming in. He misses the ball. It traps. He goes inside and then bash through the goalkeeper. This, for me, was a blinder because, Aaron does very well, gets to the far post, and Jake Wetton starts that game so fast, plays the ball across the entire German defense. German defense got napping and a deflection home.
And this was the draw. Martin Hayner was an unbelievable flick. Really good height, as you said, super difficult for the keeper. And to get the draw as the captain, he's a true leader.
Well, it's been an unbelievable tournament so far, and we're so lucky to have the FIH president, Dr. Narendra Batra, here, and Siddharth Pandey has been talking to him.
We have now with us the president of the International Hockey Federation, Dr. Narendra Batra. Dr. Batra, first of all, it's a pleasure to have you with us. It's been a great start to the Hockey World League finals here in Bhubaneswar. What has been the most exciting part for you till now?
I think all the teams are doing well and unexpected things are happening. So it's always good for the game to see that unpredictable things happen. So the interest remains right till the end.
So the fans here are absolutely fantastic. Whenever India plays and whenever it's not playing as well, it's always great to have these kind of fans here. Any message for them?
I think I've seen that a crowd in Odisha understands hockey pretty well. And that's a good part. They remain connected with the game and they enjoy all the good moments. And so that's a good part. And just keep on loving us the way you have done us for so long. So keep on supporting us.
So 1 year from now, the really big one, the World Cup will be hosted by this city, Bhubaneswar, and this stadium, the Kalinga Stadium. How excited are you about that?
Next year, the way the things are, right now the capacity is about 7,800. It's being planned to take it up to 17,000 next year. The construction work is on and the stadium will be complete, I'm told, by May next year. But we have told them that the entire stadium should have seats. So with seats, it will be about 15,500. So I think it's going to be a good game. Odisha is a very good host. They really deck up the city, and I'm told there will be big screens all across the state. So I would say they are being very good partners with us, and that's the way we would like the event to go.
Dr. Batra, we thank you for speaking to us, and please enjoy the rest of the tournament.
And one more thing, I want to add Star Supports for all sports for all their support they're given to hockey in India, and they're also I'm talking of India right now because of their support, hockey has grown in India, and India is a very important part for us in the world hockey strategy.
It's our pleasure, sir.
Thank you so much.
Brilliant words, and fascinating to hear from Dr. Narendra Batra on his thoughts, especially about Indian hockey, Cedric. And looking ahead to the World Cup next year, coming off the back of an Asia Cup win, what do you think the chances are for Indian glory at a home World Cup?
Well, I think that the way that India is playing, they've moved from strength to strength over the last couple of years. The culmination was actually the Asia Cup after so many years to win that, and then to come and they beat everybody. They didn't win; they beat everybody. And I think the way the graph is going, it's going the right direction. The give and go is incredible. The speed is incredible. Decision making is great. And if you look at them today, they don't really carry and run with the ball. They just pass it quicker. So that's exactly what India is. And India over the next year, with the kind of games they're playing against Aslan Shah, the Commonwealth Games, the Asian Games, the Champions Trophy, they'll be ready for the World Cup. I'm hoping they can do 1975 again by winning it.
Now, a player that will be coming back into the team, in fact has come back into the team here and will be hoping to head to the World Cup, is Rupinder Pal Singh. Let's hear from him.
Rupinder, playing against England, how has the preparation been, and what are your expectations for the game?
Our preparation is going really well, and all the team is doing really hard work. So our preparation will be we will try to focus on our strategies and the structure, and yeah, we will focus on our strengths only.
England have some really good players. Which players will you especially be looking to counter?
I feel they have few players we need to watch on, and they are Barry Meredith, the most experienced player, and then a goalkeeper and McGregor, and we need to keep eye on them.
Back into the team, Rupinder, how does it feel?
It feels amazing to after 6 months we are playing for the country, and I'm just looking for the tournament.
Germany, one of the best teams in the world. Rupinder, what are your expectations from the game?
It's the same thing. We need to, I think, try to do our our strengths, and need to keep our structure and the strategy we need to follow, and most importantly we need to focus on our PCs, and then defensive structure more, because Germany is really good in the defensive mode too, and the attacking structure as well. So I think we need to focus on those things too.
Anna, as a drag flicker, Rupinder back from injury, what's your views for drag flickers coming back into international hockey?
Look, you really have to look after your body. It's one of these movements that is not natural. Your hips, your knees, they can all be susceptible to injury. So, I think being injured, he would know what he needs to do to get back to the best. And it's, your recovery, it's your warm-up. It is really important, especially things like ice bathing, all of those things that athletes know from the back of their hand. It's so important because you want a long career, and when you're drag flicking consistently, you can be susceptible.
Well, there you go. India, England coming up very soon. You don't miss this one.
A warm welcome to all our viewers to the final game of day 2 of the Hockey World League finals between Asian champions India and European bronze medalists and world number 7 England. We've already had 3 games played here today. Believe me, there are few hockey playing destinations in the world better than this one. Bhubaneswar loves hockey above all else. There's not a seat empty here at the Kalinga Stadium. High anticipation for India versus England. England lost yesterday. India drew their first match with Australia. The match of Pool B, the first match played today between Germany and Australia, was a 2-all draw. So if India win this game, they will go to the top of the ladder. The toss between the two captains. Manpreet and Phil Roper. Manpreet just completed his 200th cap for India against Australia in that first game. Phil Roper has been such an important player for England and GB, should I mention. This is what has happened till now. Both the pools. That's Pool A. Belgium ran out winners against Argentina in the replay of the Olympic finals against Argentina. Well, Spain and Netherlands, a surprise result there for many. Spain beat the Netherlands and beat them convincingly, I have to say. That was Pool A, Belgium and Spain sitting on top. This is what happened in Pool B so far. Remember, it's the second round of matches in Pool B. Germany are heading the pool. Australia, 2 draws so far for them. India and England are moments away from squaring off. India looking for their first victory. So are England, who lost with a lackluster performance against Germany. The atmosphere is absolutely pumped and electrified here in Bhubaneswar. The final game of day 2. It's a festival of hockey, and we are 1 year away also from the Hockey World Cup, which will be hosted by the city in this very stadium. Time for both the teams, England and India, to come on to the pitch. This is then the head-to-head. India ranked 6th in the world, just 1 ahead of England. Considerably less average age for India, 23.5 to 26.2 for England. Many youngsters being tried for India. Watch out for some of the youngsters in the English lineup as well. Liam Sanford, James Gall, Liam Ansell. Some local flavour in the Indian team here. Dipsan Tirki, Amit Rohidas, Virendra Lakra. India really look the real deal here in this tournament in the World Hockey League. Still looking for their first win, India. They started so positively against Australia yesterday, had many chances, could not convert them. Manpreet, all smiles, captain of the Indian team, becomes such a vital cog in the wheel. Somebody others look up to. Mr. Sanjay Kumar Singh, CEO, IDCO, was the dignitary for today, and now ready for the national anthems.
Wow, wow, wow. That is an atmosphere. You can look forward to this atmosphere times about 10 in a year's time when this very stadium hosts the Hockey World Cup in 2018. There's a change in the commentary box. Thank you to Siddharth Pandey for your fantastic work, but it's going to be Dan Strange with Cedric D'Souza alongside me. Cedric, this England versus India match, just really briefly, your thoughts?
Well, I think it's a game which, one team has lost, one team has won, and so has drawn. So basically, you're looking at a game which is going to be really strong and both wanting to win.
England lineup: Gibson starts, Weir, Ward, Gleghorn, Roper the captain, Dixon, Middleton, 399 games for him, Creed, Goodfield, Condon, and Liam Sanford, who very much stood out for Bobby Crutchley's team in the first match against Germany. Despite that 2-0 lead, the English squad, Cedric, rather ravaged by illness before the Germany game.
Well, we come back to that, but basically we talk about what's on the cards today. Both teams are going to go all guns blazing because of what happened yesterday, but both will put a lot of pressure on the ball to force turnovers and exploit space.
And India, they start with Harmanpreet Singh, the number 1. Rupinder Singh, of course, back from injury. As you just heard, the captain is Manpreet, number 7. He starts. Gurjant also starts. Dipsan Turkey, the local boy, number 12. Suraj Kakira, the goalkeeper, gets his first start of the competition, number 13. SV Uthappa, the number 15, starts. Baran, 22, starts. SV Sunil starts. Akashdeep is up front, and Chingling Sana Singh will be in the midfield, Cedric, and he's so excited. But Rupinder, you're looking forward to see him play tonight.
I think the team is really playing well as a unit. The midfield is supporting the attack, they're supporting the defense too. Rupinder Pal had a good game in the first one after coming out of injury. Mandeep also had a good game. The key issue is the fact that the team is playing well as a cohesive unit, and you're going to also see the long balls being used by both teams, which love the tip-ins and for scoring.
So England versus India, the hosts of the Hockey World League semi-final in London, play against the hosts, of course, of the Hockey World League finals in Bhubaneswar. England finished 3rd in London. India finished in 6th position, but qualify here as hosts. Manpreet Singh, 200 caps yesterday. He ran his socks off. Fantastic interview where he could barely get the air in his body. SV Sunil, well, he has come back from Bangladesh in the Asia Cup, and the comment from Sjoerd Marina, the coach, and David Johns was he looks so sharp. Varun Kumar will be looking, if he can, to get himself on the score sheet, especially Cedric from penalty corners, because he is an option.
Well, he's a penalty corner, he's got a good flick, and also he's got a lovely aerial ball which he can play from defense and exploit the space behind the defense. So, he's a player who can latch up into attack. In fact, both the midfielders, both his wide defenders, and including Harmanpreet, all three can move forward.
Rupinder Pal Singh, Delhi wave rider in the HIL, back from a very nasty injury. He's had to be very, very patient.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's play.
And we're underway. And Barry Middleton, former Doncaster player, former Cannock player as well in England. It's just going back. It goes to Sanford, who, as we said, young, or a very young player in this team, very exciting player in this team. Tough a green card yesterday in the 2-0 loss to Germany, but really stood out for his calmness on the ball. We're here at the Kalinga Stadium as India and Gurjant burst forward. Middleton back to pick up into his own D. And Cedric, a good start from India pressing high.
Well, apart from pressing high, the English have to be very careful of losing the ball, losing possession, especially playing the ball from the wide zones into the center and picked up, because they know that the Indian strikers or the Indian midfielders are very, very quick in putting pressure on the ball as soon as it comes in the center.
Akashdeep, goalkeeper Harry Gibson had to be equal to that and just be watchful. Sam Ward, down the line it goes again. Ward was wearing tights, or under trousers yesterday on his legs, and doing the same again today, potentially just protecting an old injury. There we see the replay.
Well, the ball comes in, it just bobs up into the circle, and Akashi takes a touch of that ball towards Gibson in goal, who has no problem, palming that ball away.
Now England settle deep in their 23. No need to rush things here for them. India have dropped all the way back to the half-court press. Only Akashdeep, who lost his concentration for a moment, and Gleghorn, who is playing at right back for England here, able to pick up the ball. Now Cedric, yesterday, of course, India took the lead against Australia through Mandeep, but the Australian response was immediate, and that will concern Shobha Raina because the Indian team didn't cope with the Australian response.
Well, I think you know the Australians have this in their DNA. When they score a goal, they try and get the next one quicker, and if they concede a goal, they really come at you with all guns blazing, and that's what happened. The Indians had their guard down for a couple of seconds, and it was exploited by the Australians.
Here is Sanford, plays for Reading Hockey Club, one of the top clubs in English Premier Division. It's well played moving forward for Brendan Creed, and a youngster, very young centre-back partnership this for the English team. Sanford again it is, India right back, a sort of 35% press there from India, Cedric, and they really are sitting deep in defence.
Well, what they actually do is they wait. They know they're a counter-attacking team. They know they can exploit spaces when the ball, when they pull the opposition defense up front, they can exploit the spaces behind them, and they're always waiting for the ball to be played in the center. As soon as the opposition plays the ball in the center, they put so much pressure on the ball, trying to win that ball and hit the ball in the spaces behind the defense and try and grab that.
Creed reversed it wide of the nearest upright for England.
Okay.
Very dangerous here. In fact, it was Goodfield, not Creed, with the reverse stick upright shot. Harmanpreet gets India going once more. Chingling Sana, one of the real highlights of that Asia Cup win. See,
that crash ball comes into the circle, and the ball bobs up off a defender. Creed has a lucky bounce, comes to him and hits the ball out. The question is, when you are a defender, you got to be low and you got to be strong. So basically, David Goodfield had a chance there to put England one up, but he actually fluffed his shot because it was hurried.
Everton midfielder unable to force a save from Karkira. Opportunity there, half chance for Sam Ward to pick up on his reverse. Prolific goal scorer, both international and domestic level. Those for Beeston, who are a club in the Midlands in England, Nottingham. Down the line, Sumit, outstanding at the Junior World Cup, Cedric, and such a good amount of exciting young players in this Indian team.
But Sumit is one, Gurjant is the other, Varun Kumar is the third, Dipson Tirkey the fourth. They've got a host of youngsters, and Suraj Karkera and Vikas Daya is not here, but there's a host of youngsters who have really played well in the senior ranks, and it augurs very well for Indian hockey for the future.
We're just bouncing away from captain of England, Phil Roper. Here comes Narendra Lakra, Marissa Mann, 27 years of age. Played for Ranchi Rays in the Hockey India League. Sumit in a midfield battle, loves a midfield battle, and tends to get knocked about in midfield a bit, to be honest, Sumit, but seems to enjoy the challenge.
He may be slight, he may be small in stature, but he has got a big heart, he's got a big game, and he knows exactly how to carry the ball. He's strong on the ball. Even if he shoves it around a little bit, he may fall, but he's still very strong on the ball.
Ball into the D was towards Mandeep, and Mandeep trying to get a touch, you'll see here.
Rupinder Pal slings that ball as he go into zone 2 in the center. Hotline picked up completely, and Mandeep doesn't get a touch on that.
And we talk about hotlines, Cedric. Just for someone watching the game for the first time, which we hope there are going to be new people joining the sport of hockey a lot over the next 12 months, explain hotline to the people listening and watching.
Well, the hotline is the line between where the ball is and the center of the goal. That's the fastest route to the goal, and you have to block that. It's always blocked by the opposition. That's the hotline.
Here's Gleghorn. To play the ball across towards James Gall of the Surbiton Club in London. Sanford takes his time as Mandeep puts some pressure on. England just forcing it a little bit there. India being patient and being rewarded.
Well, it's good because, India knows they're a counter-attacking team. They're waiting back, they're holding back, engaging, and then waiting for an opportunity to play the ball forward.
You saw Sjoerd Marijn on screen there, the Dutch coach of India, new Dutch coach of India, was with the Indian women's team before taking over with the men. And Cedric, how much has his very brief tenure impressed you so far, with of course the Asia Cup win, but also just his manner?
Well, he's focusing on raising the team's belief and working them as playing as a single unit. What he's really done is made them responsible for what they want to do, and they've decided what they want to play, the kind of game they want to play, and that means that they are accountable for their actions. And he's brought about this belief in them that they can go all the way, and attack is their best form of defense.
To England 16-yard hit that stands for. Sanford again. Eyes up. Moves the ball in and out of the midfield using Phil Roper as the pivot in there. Lakra. Harmanpreet, 7 goals in Bangladesh at the Asia Cup. He even managed to burst the net at times, and that's not an exaggeration. Genuinely managed to get the ball through the net on occasions. Shove in the back from the England player.
Well, the English are really doing a good job. What they're trying to do is every ball that is played to Manpreet is always being marked. Any ball that is played in the centre, and if he moves to the wides, they're picking him up very quickly and not allowing to play the ball forward. SP
Sunil, what a turn into Mandeep, tries to somehow pick the ball up. SK Uthappa, whistle goes a foot inside the deep from the Indian team.
Well, it's a good movement by the Indians. They're coming back from the right-hand side. They're actually putting pressure along the baseline. Ball trickles inside. I think Mark Legon plays that ball. It hits the foot of Uthappa, and so it's a free hit for England. A good sustained pressure. They've got to keep doing that more and more often. Get to the baseline, attack the baseline, and find their players.
This is, of course, Asia champions against bronze medalists from the European Hockey Championships in 2017, where England, having lost to Germany in the pool stages, went and beat them 4-2 in the bronze medal match. Now, Kottajit Singh returning to action here in Bhubaneswar. Finds another player who returns to this strengthened squad. Lakra. Harmanpreet, ball down the line, just doesn't find its intended target, and England turn the ball over.
Well, Harmanpreet has this long sweep which he plays ball. He plays these diagonal long balls into the circle. If you look at his gesticulation after the ball was fluffed, he was asking Amit Roy Das, get in more so he can play that long ball in.
Harry Martin loses possession. It's won back very quickly by Sam Ward. No messing around from him. The whistle goes, it'll be England's ball. Ward heads through to allow players behind him to restart the game. Just outside the 23, Cedric, so the ball from here can be crashed into the D if England want to. You see it there from Sanford, the opportunity. Oh, James Gall tried to get a shot away, but it goes against him, and India managed to come away without conceding or having a shot against them.
Well, the ball was on one corner of the field on the 25. They don't play the ball directly inside, although they could do it from over the 23-yard line. They change the point of attack. That means the defense has to move, and then they crash the ball inside.
He's 22 years of age. Came into the competition with just 7 caps to his name. Sanford. Pindapal Singh went low in the tackle, got beaten in the tackle. Both teams enjoying good possession here. It's, of course, the Odisha Hockey World League Finals of 2017. It's Pool B action, the second game for both these two teams, an incredibly important game for both these two because, of course, England lost yesterday to Germany. India were pegged back by Australia, having gone 1-0 up. SP Sunil, what energy from him. Sanford calm and composed, looking for the pass, finds Henry Weir.
Well, it's a good thing because, you know, you look at these youngsters, they're actually standing up and showing their mettle in this kind of level of hockey. Sanford being one, Ansel being the other. You know, look at these youngsters. Look at Dipson Tiki from India. Look at, you know, all the Barun Kumar, Sumit. You're looking at the youth who are going to take hockey into the future, who are really standing up and proving their mettle and showing what they're really made of. There's no fear psychosis. They're going for it. They're not worried about a 1v1, and they go all the way.
Now, we haven't seen much of Sam Ward in this competition so far. Goes against England for dangerous play, but he got quite a lot of ball in and around that left-hand side pocket. In fact, sorry, it's a long corner to England, excuse me. Sanford has the ball, drills it in towards the back post, and it's just deflected away.
Well, you know, any ball that's is hit into the circle that way should never be trapped, because when you trap the ball, you're put under pressure. It was good thinking by Sumit to deflect that ball and over the baseline.
Now the opportunity for India. SB Sunil, Akashdeep's ahead of him. He goes to the reverse and almost closes the option off of Akashdeep. Somehow gives away a free hit there. Oh, a shoulder barge has been signalled by the umpire.
Well, you know, Sunil has that ball. He attacks the space. Akashdeep is the supporting player in front, leading into the wide bush. But there was Sunil. He actually blocked Adam Dixon by hit the ball on the left-hand side, keeping his body between the ball and the player, and that's a foul. You have to allow the opposition to play the ball.
Adrian Matia is the Argentinian umpire down that end. Alongside him this evening, Yushi Koshiko of Japan. Taylor took the ball down for England. They have the ball inside the deep. Goodfield back to goal, trying to use his 3D skill, lifting the ball. Goes off the back line, and it's an England long corner. In India, they're not very careful with the ball when they got the opportunity, Cedric.
Okay, you know what's happened basically? The fact is that any ball that comes on the baseline, the important thing is not to lose possession because they're running back to your own goal. They try and do the 3D skill, they're trying to force a penalty corner, and sometimes because the defenders have their flat stick, they actually lift the ball slightly at the 3D skill and then trying to find a foot. The Indian defenders doing very well to cope with that and put pressure on the ball and move it out to safety.
Mark Leghorn just playing the ball in for the English team. He actually hails from Antrim in Northern Ireland. English residency after moving to Loughborough University for his student days. Been a great servant to the team since. Here's Middleton. Weir, eyes up, trying to manoeuvre this Indian defence. But India are equal to it. That's really, really well played.
Well, India's actually putting them in the pocket, not allowing the direct transfer from one side to the other side, forcing them down one side and having more in numbers. The important thing is when they're in more numbers is to find a foot and inch towards the circle, start the game quickly, and it gives the opposition has to be 5 meters away. If they don't, you get a penalty corner. So it's inching towards the circle against the crowded defense and trying to start the game quicker.
2 minutes. Pacey ball in towards Manpreet, who coped with it well, managed to win a free hit. Harmanpreet thought about drilling the ball past Sam Ward on the first attempt, instead went to his reverse. Here is Ward, but he's all on his own, and players trying to get with him, having to protect the ball to allow them time, and suddenly England lose possession, and India with 4 players can rush forward now. Sumit out to the right-hand side. Lalit crashed it across. Mandeep gets a shove in the back and away from England danger.
Well, before that ball was shoved in the back, before Mandeep was shoved in the back, there was already a foot foul on there on top of the 25. So basically, a free hit was given to India. Mandeep actually running back towards the ball, posting up, gets his flat stick down, but deflects the ball over Gibson's bar. It was a good movement by Mandeep. He saw his marker, he went towards the ball, but didn't get put on target.
9 seconds left to go in the first quarter. I think we are going to finish the first quarter here in this Pool B encounter between India and England. And it's 0-0. And both teams have been probing and looking and seeing how the other one responds. But as yet, we've had very few shots on goal. And it remains currently, Cedric, goalless. Not a bad start, though, for either team. And there is the score. At the end of the first quarter, it's India 0, England 0 at the Odisha Hockey World League finals in Pool B. And we'll now go to Anna Flanagan, who's pitch side.
I'm here with English captain Phil Roper. Now that was a quick first quarter. What do you want to achieve in the next one?
Probably get a little bit more secure on the ball, a little bit more possession up in there, 25, and really try and work some opportunities for ourselves.
Good luck, hope you can.
Yeah, Phil Roper, a player who was in the England under-21 squad at the 2013 World Cup in Delhi. Made his England debut back in 2013 as well. Followed that with a debut for Great Britain. Of course, the England and Great Britain programmes sort of merge in and out of each other because, of course, Great Britain playing the Olympic Games, but the home nations, England, Wales, Scotland and Ireland as well, of course, new players in the World Cup.
You heard what Roper said. He said basically the fact is to secure the ball more. So they're actually losing the ball quite easily, have more possession and create more opportunities. There's been no opportunity yet, clear opportunity for England at this stage. But actually what they've done is they bottled up the Indian strikers. That's good thinking on their part defensively, but they've got to push up forward now and try and get a goal.
Gurjant looking at his team, he wants some service. He hasn't seen much of the ball yet in this Odisha Hockey World League finals. The pool stages, Cedric, it's so important. Well, for both teams, a win is a must tonight, really.
Well, I think apart from just winning and getting more, higher up into the pool, the most important thing is the belief you take to the next game. The fact that your winning becomes a habit, and that is because both these teams are looking at the World Cup for next year.
Of course, the beauty here is because it's a quarter-final format anyway, you can finish anywhere in the pool and you could make it to the semi-final. The point being, technically, if you end up first, you play fourth, so you're technically playing a weaker team. Although, of course, earlier we saw Spain, who were not expected to beat Netherlands, go and beat Netherlands, so anything can happen here.
Well, you know, in the top 10 nations of the world, anybody can beat anybody. It's a question of performance on that given day. The pedigree of all these teams is known. They're very strong in their games. They're physically very strong, mentally very strong, and technically very sound too. So from that perspective, you cannot say this is a clear winner or this is a clear team which has got an edge over everybody else. And Spain proved it today. They had a fantastic defensive frame. They had much less possession than the Netherlands, but the fact was they played a tactical game and beat the Netherlands.
Gleghorn, down the line it goes, and then just trying to get the ball into the deep for Chris Griffiths. The Indian ball, Barry Middleton just leaves the ball alone and expects the Indians to pick it up, ready to take the free hit.
Well, Griffiths gets that ball, hits Dixon Turkey on the foot, and the umpire didn't blow, he carried on playing. That's an advantage rule being played. So sometimes the umpire doesn't blow, you would say it hit the foot, why is the umpire not blowing? If you have possession, you carry on playing.
Rupinder, eyes up, looking for his options ahead of him. It's England-India, it's 0-0. We're in the second quarter here in Bhubaneswar of the Hockey World League Finals 2017. That's a poor pass from Gurjant.
Well, I think both of them made poor passes, both the team made both passes. The ball speed is very important. If you play a slow ball speed, to give the opposition a 50-50 chance to get that pass.
Chingling Sana, oh, great effort from him. He had to manufacture the shot because it wasn't perfect for him. It did go wide, but that's how dangerous Chingling Sana Singh can be.
Well, a lovely pass by Akashdeep, and Chingling Sana gets that ball. He didn't look up, he just plays the ball. He knows he's in his angle. He knows he can't raise a stick because Dixon was close by there to jab tackle him. He just slid the stick along the ground to try and put it into the goal. But Pinner was on his angle.
We're all the way back to Creed, 24 years of age, into Condon. Ball out to the left-hand side where Ward again just looks to, first of all, be skillful and then create space back into the English transfer. Oh, that's a fantastic ball to cut the Indian defences, but look at that. Brilliant defending from Dixon Turkey, and away comes Gurjant.
Well, it is a comedy of errors there. The first one being Gurjant leaving his space, going out and allowing the ball to come inside. That's the first cardinal rule. He made a mistake. And then Dibson, who's standing wide, comes in and picks up that ball. It's a fantastic play by Dibson, but I think a bad defensive play by Gurjant up front.
Harmanpreet's gone out. See that ball across, beautiful.
Well, look at that interception by Dibson coming in from the wide inside, because the closest point to the goal is from the center, and he cuts it off completely.
Harmanpreet's out at the moment, so Rupinder picks up and moves the ball on. Chingling Sana. Dixon Turkey, sorry, Sumit, in fact, under pressure. Goes all the way back to Lakra. Cross to the right-hand side. Varun can get his eyes up. This squad that won the Asia Cup the first time in 10 years, and what a response the Indian fans had to that. Mandeep, oh, couldn't quite pick the ball up there. Would have been in a very good position if he had.
Well, the ball's on the left-hand side. It was transferred to the right hand, and then the ball was crashed inside. And there, from there, you see one person posts up, one goes deep into the circle. That's good thinking because they're pulling the defense apart. And Mandeep misses that ball completely. He's not in the position. He's not even low enough.
Whistle goes, and it's England ball. And David Conlon turns around to ask the umpire why it wasn't blown earlier.
Well, any crash ball in the circle, the cardinal rule is the strikers getting away from their markers. And if you don't, you're asking for trouble because it's going to be a turnover. So the movement of the strikers is very, very critical. One posting up, one going to the baseline, one going to the far post.
The pace of Chingangsana Singh really coming to the fore at the moment. India, Rupinder picked the ball up and they look to break quickly against England, but England are back into the half-court press. Cedric right back camped on the halfway line, allowing India to play in their back line, but nothing further forward.
But what they're actually doing is they know that Binder Lakra and Rupinder Pal are both coming from injuries, and they're holding back, waiting for an opportune time to play the counter-attack on them.
Griffiths took the ball off the sideline. Barron gets the sideline ball for India. They're, of course, number 6 in the world. England ranked number 7 in the world, so these two, nothing between them whatsoever. England no points in the pool, India just the one. The goal from Mandeep, he took it excellently against Tyler Lovell of Australia. But Haywood's with the penalty corner. Slight error in goal, Cedric as a goalkeeper by Akash Chikti, but we can't blame him too much.
Well, for the first goal against Australia, when Jeremy Haywood flicked that ball inside, the first wave was not in line. He has to be in line. The ball goes past his right foot, and Chitke had moved to the right-hand side. The ball goes in the center, past his left foot. The most important thing is your first line wave, your first wave, running a perfect line, and the goalkeeper, even though he's offset, he has to know that the ball coming to center is his ball.
Gleghorn. It goes to Middleton. A nice ball from Middleton, and again, England just dropped the ball back into Middleton, who has a lot of space, the Ranchi Ray. Sumit, though, again, ready to pick up the pieces if England offer anything, and they do. Lakra camped in that bottom corner. Is there a way out for the Indian team? Lakra has the ball. Harry Martin is staying low, and England win that back through Liam Ansell. Ansell, who started his hockey at High Wycombe in the regional leagues in England, and then went and played at Den Bosch eventually in Holland and really proved himself. India come away, Akashdeep.
Well, it was a good break by India. They were under pressure for a few seconds in the circle. They get the ball out, and immediately they get back into attack. But look at the English, they're all back in defense. They know the Indians are very quick on the break, and they get back quickly into defense.
Mandeep shoving the back, and it was always going to go against Liam Sanford there. He'll claim he was standing his ground, but really it was a shove.
Well, definitely, you know, and you've got to do some acting too in the circle, you know, especially if you want to win a penalty corner or get a card against the opposition.
Wahidas takes a deflection. England could get the rub of the green here. They do. They get the break, and Roper has his eyes up, and literally we'll see not a red shirt anywhere near him. Somehow gets himself a free hit, and there's going to be a card shown, and it's a green, and Sumit has a green card.
Well, Roper's going through this, attacking the space in front of him, and Sumit chasing him actually, tries to shave the ball away, but hits a stick, and the resultant green card given to him. The intention was, you know, Roper ran. There was no support, either on the T-points or in the guard position. They have to, the lines have to move forward when there's a turnover or when there's a counter-attack. The English did the same thing in the first match. They got to do it differently now.
Roper once more. Great little passage of play from him. Gleghorn. It's the foot of Kotajit. Gleghorn with the ball once more. Sanford, crash ball from him. Rupinder got a touch, then Manpreet comes away, then Lalit with Mandeep. Look at how high he's getting up the pitch, and he'll be on his reverse, but he just couldn't quite hold on to the ball. Cedric, again, Mandeep really trying to get height on the pitch for India, and Lalit just couldn't quite find him.
Well, you know, he's leading, if he had led a little more diagonally, he would have got that ball. Lalit has to give a weighted pass. He has to hold on for a second. He's got to see his player in front. It's not a question of you just throwing the ball and expecting the player to receive it. It's a question of how you pass the ball, the releaser, the final pass, critical in the last 23.
Bhupinder waits in the corner. Players around him, and he's lost possession because he was blocking the English players from getting the ball. Sam Ward gets England going once more. Creed. And of course, depleted in the match against Germany, down to just 13 outfield players, and that meant lots of pitch time and lots of leg work, and eventually they went down 2-0. India on day one, a 1-1 draw against Australia, and being 1 goal to the good. Creed. England really moving the ball well. Roper into the D it goes, picked up by Dipsen Turkey, and Cedric is an England short corner.
Well, the ball is a passage of play by England. They transfer the ball from the left to the right hand side and put the ball into the circle. Dixon, who's marking, Dixon gets in front of him actually, and the ball deflects off Dixon's stick onto his foot. Roper has his eyes up, looks up. A little bit of pressure on the ball by number 21 from England, Ansell, and the ball goes on to Dixon's foot and a penalty corner. He's got to be lower and he's got to be wider.
Now, how will England set up here? It looks like Sam Ward and Mark Gleghorn. It is Ward and Gleghorn. Ward on the left, the first castle as we call it. Gleghorn on the right. Gleghorn, normally the specialist flicker, is going to Gleghorn on the right hand side, and it deflects away for a long corner to England, which of course nowadays is taken on the 23 in line with where the ball went off. Good short corner, penalty corner defence there from India, Cedric.
Well, you know, if you look at it, the ball was not played to the first castle, the ball was played to the second castle, and Mark Gleghorn's running out, and Amit Rohidas running out is absolutely brilliant. He moves in line with the ball, and there's actually a goal for England there. The ball came from the baseline, put right through. Suraj Kakar tried to intercept that ball between, but a tip in just as far as past his foot.
We'll just wait for a replay for exactly what happened there. It's 1-0 to England. India are back to 11 men, and let's see exactly what happened here. Well, the ball went out to the right-hand side.
Went onto the baseline and he plays the ball. He feints playing the fakes as showing the ball towards the penalty spot, but he plays the ball in front of the goalkeeper for an easy tip in front of the goalkeeper. Ansell actually gets that touch to it.
Goodfield with the ball across, and he was saying, was it me? I think it was him. I think it's come off Suraj Karkira. We'll wait for confirmation on that one. It's either Goodfield or Ansell, which was why we waited on confirming that moments ago. And that is David Goodfield over on the bench, the number 19.
So basically it wasn't a tip, and it ball was played across the circle, across the goal mouth, and Suraj Karkira tried to intercept that ball, hits his foot and goes into the goal. And it's a clean goal because the ball was played from inside the circle, and Suraj Karkira deflected it into his own goal.
Both Goodfield and Ansell, who very nearly scored it, were former students at Sheffield Hallam. India are behind here. Harmanpreet, back it goes to Lakra, across to Amit Rohidas. Lakra would have been wanting to offer the pass back from Rohidas, but couldn't because he'd fallen over. What have Syod Maraina's men got here in Bhubaneswar to get back into this one? They're 1-0 down, as they have a draw in the competition so far. SK Uthappa cuts back inside into the D, cross it comes, and long corner given. Yeah, time I think is off at the moment. We'll just wait to hear what the umpire has to say.
Do you see what happened?
The Odisha Hockey World League final. It's India versus England. It's going to be an India long corner, and the score currently India 0, England 1, which has been given to David Goodfield. And off is going Luke Taylor. England medical staff come on to check he's okay.
Well, you know, that goal which went against India, the English are known for attacking the baseline and playing the ball across the goal mouth. They always be lurking on the far post for a tip, and that's their normal trend of play for years that they've been doing it. And this one, Suresh Karkera tries to intercept that ball across, which goes across the goal mouth, hits his pad and goes into the goal.
Are you saying England are set in their ways there, Cedric?
Well, I don't think they're set in their ways. They know it's a danger points. They know the positions in the circle, and sometimes, yes, they're set in their ways. Just like I'm an old man, I'm set in my ways too.
Making no comment on age, Cedric, at all. England 1-0 up here. 59% possession to England, 41% to India. In the second quarter, it's much, much closer than that. India set right back at the half-court press. Clash between Gurjant and Middleton. Dixon, a little touch on from Ansell, that's better for him. Dixon once more follows up, and Middleton again can wave forward for England here on this right-hand side. Dixon and Middleton, great interplay between two players who played so much in international hockey for a very long time. Akashdeep stuck in between three England players and managed very, very well to get out of that trouble.
Well, it's a great passage of play by England first, and then a good defensive skills by Harmanpreet, who plays the ball to Akash. Akash plays the ball forward inside, and the important thing is that both teams showed how to do it in terms of attack as well as in defense.
Upinder. Wants to Harmanpreet. Harmanpreet again with the slap ball down the left-hand side. Amit Rohidas finds Akashdeep. Akashdeep with his back to goal. Here is Rohidas once more. Played close attention by Chris Griffiths, then Akashdeep into the D it goes. And Gibson came out to try and deal with it. There was a touch on the ball. Out it went for an Indian long corner. India ball just outside the 23, Cedric, so they can crash the ball in from here if they want to. Mandeep picks up. England are told they can play on, and they know they have a 16-yard hit, so they allow the ball to run out.
Well, the crash balls that are coming in, you can see that the players are really marked very, very closely. One. The second thing is, if the ball is trapped by the strikers, then the defenders go and jab and try and get the win that ball. They don't try and intercept the ball when they know they're not in position.
Sanford much higher on the pitch than he has been. England win the ball. Roper, Sanford just couldn't quite get his stick to the ball as he wanted.
Well, you know, if you look at that ball being played inside, there's Mandeep. He's trying to trap that ball. He's under pressure from Gleghorn, and Gleghorn just lets the ball go out. No stress on the ball. This is what I mean in terms of coolness and defense.
Amit Rohidas on the line. Chris Griffiths follows Gurjant. Touch on from Kotajit. Didn't find its intended target.
Well, the ball was on the one side of the pitch, which was going to be transferred to the center, because that's where India is most dangerous, to attack the middle of the pitch, of the park. And Kotajit misses the ball completely, it goes over the sideline.
After the first half, the score is
That now is half-time, and the score here at the half-time break is India 0, England 1, and it was a rather unusual goal as Goodfield crossed the ball for Ansell, but before it got to Ansell, it went in off the Indian goalkeeper, and that is how it is at half-time. India 0, England 1 here at the Odisha Hockey World League Finals, Pool B action. The second match for these two. We're going to listen now to Anna Flanagan, who's got an interview pitch side.
And I'm here with Utapa. It's been a great game so far. What do you have to do in the second half to overcome England?
I think it's not the best game from our side, so I think we have to lift ourselves. We're not playing to the game plan that we had before the game, so I think we should get back to the basics.
Good luck in the second half. Back to commentary.
Well, Cedric, I think that's a very fair analysis.
Well, Uthappa is actually a very tactical player. He realizes that the team hasn't played to their true potential. And if you look at that, it just tells you England has 56% of possession, where India has 44. Then no shot, one shot of goal by India, three by England. But the key issue is there's just not enough of what India is really good at: counter-attacking and shots at goal.
Can India get back into it in the second half? It's India 0, England 1. Welcome back to the Kalinga Stadium in Odisha. Bhubaneswar, it's the Odisha Hockey World League Finals 2017. It's still pool action, Pool B, and it's India 0, England 1. David Goodfield scoring the deflection off the Indian goalkeeper. India, Cedric, SV Sunil was bright in the opening exchanges, but they're a goal behind.
Well, you know, he's a player who can actually exploit space, but the British are not giving him any space, so he's actually moving a lot of, he's not getting enough of room to run and to run what is his traditional, his game. And when the English come inside the circle, they try and crash that ball inside. The defense of the Indian defense has to be low. The sticks, if it bobs off the stick, it's actually a second bite in the cherry and was hit out.
And they couldn't quite pick that ball up and gave England the chance to clear their lines, and then it was seen that he kicked the ball as well.
Well, they look that they're not just, the Indian strikers don't seem to be moving enough. That's the key issue, because it just gives the English team all the time in the world to just settle down. If you don't move the defense, you don't get the gaps to exploit. This is exactly what India should is his biggest strength, which is the long ball inside, especially Harmanpreet when he gets that ball, changing the point of attack, then firing the ball into the circle. Akashi plays his ball across, Tingling Sanders very well, and without even looking up, he tries to sweep that ball inside towards the goal, and Pinner had the angle covered. Every time India actually gets the ball and tries to hit that ball across in the diagonal balls, they're actually very dangerous. Again, a nice pass. But the leading has to be more diagonal if you want to pick up that ball. A fantastic line by Amit Rohidas, running out and just blocking the ball with his extended stick.
Mark Leghorn was unable to put the penalty corner away, and then a goal from the most unusual of sources. Not that David Goodfield doesn't score goals, but the angle was bizarre. Ansell tried to get the touch. I think you can see by Liam Ansell's response, he knew he didn't get it. It was Goodfield's goal in off Karkira in the Indian goal, and a very unfortunate way to go a goal behind.
Well, the ball is played to Roper. Roper finds the baseline, and Goodfield plays the ball across for a tip-in ball for Ansell on the wides, but the ball goes off Suraj Kakrela's foot into his own goal, and a goal for England, given to Goodfield.
Deep's ball across was dealt with well by Mark Leghorn, but Cedric, this was kind of, as we see George Pinner in the England goal, this was almost just what India were limited to, not that many clear-cut opportunities.
Well, not only clear-cut opportunities, we'll come back to that, but basically look at the possession. India has only 44%. If you're looking at a team which is using attack all as their main form of defense, they've got only 5 circle entries. India actually blasts team with their counter-attack, but the English have done very well to smother those attacks by holding the zone in the center and not giving them space. Every time the ball is picked up by the Indians, there's immediately an English player on them and not giving them open opportunities.
And the only card for either team was the number 17 for India. That's Sumit. He picked up a green card in that first half. Both teams back out onto the pitch. England almost in dribs and drabs. India very much in a huddle, very much having a conversation, and very ready to take on Middleton, the English team. Roper, we heard from him at the end of the first quarter. Those two, a lot of international experience. Can England extend this lead that they've got here? Bronze medalists at the first edition of the Hockey World League finals in Delhi. And lost one game. That was the semi-final. On the shootout, went on to beat Australia 2-1 in the bronze medal match, as Netherlands took home first place. Rupinder for India. Forwards it goes. Manpreet, who's, Cedric, not been as influential this evening.
Well, every time Manpreet actually moves into space to try and receive the ball, he's marked very heavily. And any ball that he runs directly to receive wide, there's a man on him all the time. If he traps the ball, there's also a man on him, so they haven't given him any room to maneuver. So when you are bottled like that, the most important thing is that you have a guard, you play the ball back and receive the second pass, and then move into attack.
Ball played to Adam Dixon, down on the England left-hand side. It's back and goes all the way back to Brendan Creed. Creed, who's never got on the score sheet for England or Great Britain. Here he is once more. Bamford waiting deep. That's an amazing crossfield ball from Creed. Middleton. All the way out it goes. Fantastic vision from Creed there, Cedric.
Well, you know, when the ball is in one portion of the ground, you transfer the ball to the other side for a direct transfer. You absolutely open up the defense, and that was a great ball by Creed. But the next one comes across the pitch and goes out on the sideline. So you have to make sure that you're transferring the ball goes to your player, so that you can exploit the space, because normally when the ball is in one zone, the whole team moves towards that side and the head side is completely open.
England have the free hit. They get going once more. India drop right back onto the halfway line yet again. There's the Indian world ranking 6th in the world. They want to be higher. England currently 7th in the world. Of course, didn't as Great Britain anyway, not England, but Great Britain had a really shocking Olympics at Rio 2016, finished outside of the quarter-finals in the, of course, pool stages. 9th was their official ranking. Harmanpreet. All the way across it goes. Chingling Sana moves the ball on, and England set very deep once more. They hit Creed on the head. Akashdeep looks left, goes right in the end and loses possession. Careless there, Cedric, from Akashdeep.
Well, you know, Akashdeep, we talked to Marina, and he basically says, and David John both said that the fact is that Akashdeep is trying to pass the balls all the time. Sometimes he has to go himself, and that is critical. Sometimes he finds he can go 1v1. He should take on his opposition. He played that ball looking, he took his eyes off that ball and played that ball inside and picked up by the English.
And England really just packing the area behind the ball. There is Akashdeep. On target regularly at the Asia Cup. Not yet here. The Odisha Hockey World League Finals of 2017. If you're just joining us, welcome along. It's India 0. England 1 in the 3rd quarter. Cross comes in. Ward all the way back at centre-back, which is an unusual possession for him, and that's a great save by Gibson.
Well, a fantastic reflex save by Gibson, because Chingling Sana he got the ball, he just saw the chalk and let fly from there. The ball going into the first corner, and Gibson gets low and strong and deflects the ball. Well, the ball goes back from Sunil, goes back to Gurjant. Gurjant plays the ball back to Chingling Sana, who gets in the circle and smashes it. And Gibson does a remarkable save with a stick.
Harmanpreet wanted the ball to go across to the left-hand side quickly. Eventually it gets there. Sumit. Oh, superb stuff again. Liam Sanford, Cedric, how impressed have you been with his performances across the 2 games? These sort of tournaments are all about finding new stars, and that man is definitely a star of the future.
Well, you know, you look at the youngsters of all the teams in this competition, and there are some who really stand out. Most of them are standing out, actually. Liam has had a fantastic game in both games. He got a card in the other game because of a bit of argy-bargy and shoving, but apart from that, he's really had he's got a good understanding of the game, good positioning, and fantastic tackling too.
Roper in the captain's armband. Back it goes to Brendan Creed, who again, that time it gets cut out, and this is an opportunity for India. SV Sunil, just a rush of blood to Gurjant's head, and he played the wrong ball.
Well, you know, if you look at what Sunil said, Sunil's immediate action was he pointed his hand and said, play the ball more deeper along the same side, and Gurjant had to hold the ball for half a second more. He would have seen the lead by Sunil and then played the ball down that side, because the defender was already in the line when he played that pass.
Dixon on the left-hand side. Roper deep in the left pocket for England. Cuts back inside, trying to get in towards the D. Of course, you have to be in the D. You have to shoot in the D. Touch the ball in the D to get a goal in hockey. Doesn't count if you shoot from distance. Sanford, Creed. And Cedric, looking ahead a year on to the World Cup, look at the atmosphere here. It's such an exciting venue.
Well, the president of the International Hockey Federation, Dr. Batra, did definitely say that. He just said that Odisha is a state which has a hockey-loving public who know their hockey, who want to come and see quality matches. Look at the stadium today; it's packed. They're going to increase the capacity in the in the World Cup. So you can imagine what the state is going to be, what the state of this condition of this stadium is going to be. Full house in class opposition.
Field wasn't as lucky that time. He crossed the ball towards Phil Roper. Didn't get a deflection off an Indian defender or the goalkeeper, and Roper couldn't get on the end of it either. Rupinder.
Talking about that ball which came across the goal, where was the Indian defence? The last man has to be down, marking man-to-man and low. They're all ball watching.
Off the sideline, Varun Kumar. Picked up by Harry Martin. Martin with support coming from David Goodfield, the goal scorer, though he went straight off the pitch. Ward's gone off as well for England. Roper, poor from him. Opportunity again now for Lalit and India. They rush forward, 4 players up. Akashdeep has to go backward then. Oh, there was space on the left-hand side, but he didn't realise. Sumit forward, Lalit. Roper in defence gets a relatively lucky touch there, Cedric, because I really don't know knew much about that at all.
Well, you know, when the player is about to hit that long ball inside, normally you put your flat stick down and the ball either ricochets off your stick and goes out. He was lucky, he had his stick down, hit his stick and went out.
It was actually given as a back stick free hit to India in the end. It did exactly what Cedric said, but what we hadn't spotted was the umpire had spotted a further indiscretion. India have the ball down in the left-hand pocket, cross it comes. Out comes Gibson. Long corner given.
Well, India actually stretching the English defence now. Wide, Chingling Sana and Korajit playing wide along the baselines there. Varun Kumar plays the ball down to the flanks. So you're looking at stretching the English defence because they are not getting the balls coming through the centre.
Harmanpreet, eyes up, long. Ball which then deflects off Gall's stick and out for a long corner. Good period of play this for India. Mandeep just getting involved with Luke Taylor. Cedric, India building here. A lot of pressure on this England team at the moment.
Well, you know, England knows that the long balls are India's strength also, and Harmanpreet has a fantastic long ball. But when they're bottling up the centre completely, the important thing is, yeah, you're looking for a long ball, but if the strikers don't move, what's the point? The defence is all standing, so the movement of the strikers has to be much more to create the space for the long ball.
The ball just goes out to play beyond the outstretched arms of Harry Martin.
The other thing is that when the defence is standing and watching, if the ball is played towards the defender and a player posts up and deflects the ball, the first time deflection, that also creates havoc in the defence. If you look at Pool B, Germany on 4 points, as it stands just now, England on 3, as it stands now again, but there's still a lot of time to go.
Into Mandeep, might get the break here, no he doesn't. Out came Gibson. Mandeep once more with Gibson putting him under pressure. It's a long corner given, and again, well, Gibson standing strong, but India once more building the pressure here on England. That ball had to travel 5, it did. In fact, it didn't, according to the umpire. I'm sure that was 5, but apparently not, Cedric.
Well, the first ball, you have to move the ball 5 meters before you can play the ball to the circle. It was played directly inside.
Well, there are contentious calls at times in live sport, in all sport, and George Mariner, I'm not sure he agreed, but that's fair enough. The umpires do an absolutely unbelievable job at all levels in hockey.
Well, I keep telling the players, I keep telling the players all the time, you've got to play to the whistle. You know, the umpires are also human, they may make a mistake, but the question is, you've got to just keep your equilibrium and keep playing to the whistle.
Cedric D'Souza never argued with an umpire in his whole playing career, did you, Cedric?
Well, I think I got deaf just now.
But it goes on the right-hand sideline. England and Taylor get things going again. Forward it comes. The opportunity for Middleton to stretch his legs. And has had a fantastic career. Middleton, 400 games in his next match against Australia. Enjoys his time in India as well, playing for the likes of Ranchi Rays. Now Gurjat, eyes up, and that's brilliant shave tackling there from the goal scorer, Goodfield.
Well, you know, he shaped that ball beautifully, good field, but the question was, where was the communication when Gujjar was under pressure? Nobody talked about it. None of the players standing behind him had to tell him, Gujjar, man on you, and he could have protected the ball.
Dixon finds Middleton once more. Ball down the line is a good one for Ansell. We get to see him. We've seen only glimpses of Liam Ansell so far in this competition, but he's incredibly skillful, Cedric. Phenomenal hands, Liam Ansell.
Well, he's another youngster who's got a lot of life in his
opportunity, and it's sky for England. And it is Ansell. Scored one goal in his time at Den Bosch and doesn't trouble the Indian goalkeeper there.
Well, the ball comes to Ansell and he takes a shot at goal. But the question is on his reception. He gets the ball, his reception is high. He has to be much lower. He has to be towards the ball, and the ball flies over the goal. Goalkeeper closes out the angle, okay. But Ansell had to keep the ball on target by getting lower onto the ball, actually diving onto the ball.
Taylor through the aerial. Oh, the slip from Harmanpreet, that was really not good, and Ward doesn't miss those. Sam Ward has taken the opportunity. He's beaten Akash Chikti, and that was gifted to him by Harmanpreet. Sam Ward, well, he's had such a little amount of opportunities this evening, but he makes it count when he gets the chance.
Well, that aerial ball goes right across there, and if you look at Harmanpreet, makes a hash of that. Sam Ward gets the ball, he moves the keeper, moves towards the centre, moves the keeper completely. The keeper has to move his angle, and then he just plays the ball into an open net.
20 England goals for Ward now in 35 appearances in the English shirt. That doesn't include Great Britain's statistics, but that was brilliantly opened up by Ward. And then the celebration. Worked very hard last night against Germany. In the end, fruitless performance for England. Ward it is who adds the second goal. 43 minutes the time on it, and India at the moment up against it. England, if it carries on like this, will be taking their first win from the Hockey World League finals of 2017 at the second attempt. India will still be winless. However, they did of course get that draw against Australia, so it won't be complete lost cause for India. Akashdeep. Away come England on that right-hand side. Goal. Now there's a referral coming. Manpreet's gone across to the Japanese umpire to ask a question. Umpire will have a conversation with the video referral. Bunga is up there in the
corner.
booth.
Am I checking the back stick of the goalie?
Yeah.
All right, one moment, please. Video umpire to the director. It's on top. Video umpire to director.
When the ball is played by Akashdeep, it goes on the mark leg on. The ball hits his stick on the floor, and then it bobs up in the air. Now, does it touch the back stick at that time? We look at it differently, from a different angle. He's under pressure. Akashdeep is under pressure. The ball is now played on the floor.
Okay.
It goes up, and I think then it touches the back stick, and it's a penalty corner.
First time it didn't, as you say, it was almost on the end of the stick, which is just about legal. But the second time, Leghorn hits it with the rounded.
I have a decision for you. It's a penalty corner, and India keep their referral.
And cheers around the Kalinga Stadium because Van Bunga says India keep their referral and get the penalty corner, and Harmanpreet gets an opportunity. Rupinder and Harmanpreet await the chance to get a goal back for India.
Well, a great referral by India, and you know, it was so marginal in terms of touching the back stick, and now you have Harmanpreet to make amends for what he did in the first by missing that trap and Sam Ward scoring. You have him in the first castle and Rupinder in the second castle. So the lethal penalty corner up there in the circle.
Gibson, the England goalkeeper, just 8 caps, excellent and agile shot stopper, and no doubt he'll be doing his utmost to be equal to it. Chingling Sana and Lakra are the stick stoppers. Harmanpreet on the left, Rupinder on the right. Who's it going to go to? It's going to Harmanpreet. Oh, that took a big deflection. India want another referral. Harmanpreet straight away said referral, and Manpreet races across and confirms.
Okay. Okay.
Of course, the umpires
Yep,
just going to have a conversation before referring. And in fact, they've given it anyway. That's good umpiring because they've just talked on field, not had to go to the referral.
Well, you know, it was the umpires can also do an umpire referral if they're not sure about it. But they spoke among themselves. The ball goes off the foot of the first wave, and a re-penalty corner.
There you go, Barbas. Just helping out there, and that was fantastic. Chingling Sana, Harmanpreet, Manpreet swung and didn't get the ball goalless, and then goes chasing off to try and get the ball back. And England survive. India do not score. Rupinder. Oh, not great from Rupinder that time, and the break is on. The Griffiths of England finds Ward. Ward has to go back because he's got not masses of supporters. England now steadily come forward. There's still players getting rid of protective gear for England. Leghorn finally removes his protective gear. Manpreet gives away the free hit.
Well, the injection to the first castle, Harmanpreet pulls that ball. Gibson does very well to get down. On the resultant rebound, Manpreet goes towards the ball, but a great defensive skill by Henry Wire going to place the ball wide. You know, the second wave of a defense, the right-hand side man is actually the one who takes all the rebounds. He does very well from the rebound, puts pressure on Manpreet, and then plays the ball out. And he does a great job as a second wave.
Manpreet, Chingling Sana, sorry, Lakra down the line was looking for Chingling Sana. And Lalit just picks up and drops the ball off. Lalit, of course, got one of the goals in the victory in the Asia Cup final.
Well, it was a real scorcher of a goal when he picks the ball up on the right-hand side, turns, spins inside and fires it in his top corner of the net with a brilliant goal in Bangladesh. One can't forget those kind of goals, you know.
Yeah, Cedric, you had to go through the top 10 of the competition, and it was quite a difficult job to edit them down, wasn't it? Now, that's well played by Manpreet, always committed. Ward, goal scorer number 2 for England, picks up movement ahead of him as the hooter goes for the end of the third. And the news here in Bhubaneswar is that at the moment, India are 2-0 down. It's India 0, England 2. Goodfield and Ward on target for the English, and Manpreet and his men have a lot to talk about at the end of the third quarter, because here at the Odisha Hockey World League Finals, Pool B, at the moment, India are behind. It's India 0, England 2, and we're now going to go down pitch side with Anna Flanagan.
I'm here with goal scorer David Goodfield. You're already up 2-0. How are you going to close this game out?
We've just got to keep the intensity with our pressing, make sure when we get the ball we're moving it on nice and quickly, defend hard for the rest of the game, and hopefully we can keep it the way it is.
Good luck in the last quarter. Back to your commentary.
Oh, David Goodfield with that goal which deflected in off Suraj Karkira. England have taken their chances when they've come this evening at times. Most of them, I should say. Liam Ansell, of course, blazed over at one point. Bobby Crutchley, though, a lot of positives to take from this one. India, well, Cedric, Siobhan Marina will not be too concerned about this, because he knows that wherever India end up in this group, they can play in a quarter-final, they can play anyone and potentially beat anyone. But what, as a coach, will he be looking to change? What little things at this stage in the game can he change to turn this around at all?
Well, the first thing he's got to do, I think what he would tell his players to do, tell his wards to do, is basically to move the defenders. When the long balls are being played, they're all standing. Everybody has to keep moving. When you move, and the ball speed has to be much faster. The transfer, the direct transfer that you want to do has to be actually to a guard and then to the other side, and then a transfer again. If you just play one-side hockey, the English are really waiting in with their sticks down and blocking out those angles.
Manpreet awaits the ball. Manpreet awaits the victory. India await the victory here in Bhubaneswar. The passionate crowd are packing out the Kalinga Stadium. And at the moment, India are 2-0 down to England as we enter into the final quarter of action. Rupinder Plays the ball forward. Manpreet and Middleton, two magnificent international stars. Lacra into the 23, back to Manpreet. All across, picked up by SV Sunil, who's had very, very limited service this evening, Cedric.
Well, the Indian strikers have actually been marked very, very strongly. They haven't had any room to maneuver. And this is a poor ball by Rupinder. You can't play the ball from the center to the center onto the opposition, because then you're asking for trouble.
Well, Roper brought the ball away for the English. Rupinder wants it back and a little bit frustrated. And in fact, Roper has picked himself up a card and will head for a sit down.
Well, one of the reasons why Roper was given a green card was on the whistle. After the whistle, he played the ball. That's bringing the game in disrepute, and you get a green card for that.
Monkey corner goes India's way. SV Sunil walks away happy because he's manufactured something for India and gives them a chance once more.
Well, it was Manpreet who actually made the whole movement. He's leading from the front now. The ball played to Sunil, who lifts the ball and finds a penalty corner. And there was Mariner telling his players actually what to do. So he gets that ball and it lifts up onto the foot and a penalty corner.
Sunil was asking the question of the umpire and he got the affirmative answer. Now, Pinner changed at the quarter for England, so he will face this barrage of Indian drag flicks. Harmanpreet on the right, Rupinder on the left as they look at the English goal, the Indians. It is Rupinder, good save, and then followed up, and it's in, and it's Akashdeep who scored the rebound, and it's England 2, India 1, and India have hope with over 13 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in this one.
Well, the ball is played by Rupinder in the centre, maybe a ploy. Pinner is down, he passes the ball towards the right-hand side, it's right in the centre, and then Akashdeep, waiting for that rebound, runs in and taps that ball in over Pinner.
How frustrated would George Pinner be here? Because it was right at him. I mean, could he have put that anywhere away from the danger area?
Well, I think he shouldn't have fallen. You know, if he's standing erect, he falls down. When he falls, he's dead. You know, because he can't get up again. If you're standing, you can pat the ball any side, but he was down, and on the rebound, Akashdeep just lifted over him.
Akashdeep loves scoring goals, and he's 22 years of age now, 148 caps, scored a couple of times in the Asia Cup just a month ago. And now you can just hear the Indian crowd have raised their decibel levels, and India have raised their intensity. Virendra Lacra, SP Sunil, he looks to go around the right-hand side. Taylor shadows him. Sunil goes to the forehand cross, and Manpreet gets the long corner as he spun round on his heels at the umpire and said it was definitely an English touch. In fact, it's gone against. It's gone England's way. It was turned around. Brendan Creed waits over the ball. Manpreet with his stick waving in the air to try and stop Creed playing the aerial. Up by Griffiths, who had to be patient on the ball to regain complete control. Same for Ward, the ball just bobbling away. Lovely turn by Sam Ward and gets the free hit. Originally it's from Leicester. Coaches regional level, down near to where the England team are based at Bisham Abbey, at Marlow Hockey Club. Taylor. Creed. Cedric, much better from India, but England also raising the intensity.
Well, I think that what the ploy is that Manpreet is playing a little more forward.
Great opportunity there at the back post. Chris Griffiths was not far away.
Well, a nice crash ball in the circle, goes past the Lacra, and Griffiths missed the trap. Sam Ward's nice cross ball inside. And Griffiths diving on the left-hand side, hits the ball.
And just for non-hockey players, very difficult to bring that ball back inside the post once the momentum's taken the ball away from goal, that far away from the goal.
Well, the first thing is also your angle of running towards the ball has to be more towards the goal than away from the goal. So if you're on the first bar, you go away and you could deflect the ball wide. If it's on the second bar, you're deflecting more inside. That means your body has to be more inside towards the center of the goal. But this last quarter, you see Manpreet taking the leadership. Qualities coming to his best. He's moving forward. He's putting fire into the team by going forward.
Well, time is off and a card has been shown, and it's Liam Sanford and Mandeep, and those two have just been niggling each other the whole game. And Sanford, this happened to him yesterday. You said it in commentary earlier, Cedric, that he almost can't stop himself getting niggly with players, which is difficult as centre-back because there's so much going on.
Well, you know, Sanford is, Mandeep is also a fantastic player, and there's a bit of argy-bargy and pushing around there and shoving, and Nepal is standing right in line there and watches the situation, and a green card for both players, because there's actually not one player who's acting a bit of argy-bargy, both are doing it.
I think that is also accumulative from earlier on, because that wasn't really much for a green card. Anyway, play continues. India have the ball, and it's a penalty corner to India. Kotajit very much involved, and India have the chance to equalise here with 10 minutes 41 left in this match in Pool B.
Well, Manpreet again plays that. Mandeep plays the ball again. Back it goes to Kotajit, and Gaul, who's going close on the space, leaves his feet open, doesn't protect his feet, penalty corner.
Well, what a game we have here. We've had some fantastic matches throughout the day. 4 matches, all teams have played. Germany and Australia played out a thrilling 2-2 draw earlier as Martin Hainer equalised for the Germans. Where will India go? Rupinder. It's another penalty corner. High fives from the English team. Intensity from the defence. Pinner looking on.
Well, the ball goes to the first castle, and Rupinder Pal tries to flick the ball towards the left of the goalkeeper, the glove side, and the first wave running out blocks the ball, and a penalty corner.
Pinner, of course, goalkeeper of the tournament, Champions Trophy 2016. Rupinder, and it's in! What a finish that is! He's beaten Pinner, and he's equalised for India here at the Odisha Hockey World League Finals 2017, and India are back from 2-0 down. It's 2-2, and it's that man Rupinder, Cedric.
Well, if you look at what Rupinder does, he knows Pinner. He's moved the ball to the left-hand side of Pinner, just past his outstretched foot, between the foot and the postman. A very difficult ball to play, to stop by the postie. But look at Rupinder, he's really low. He uses his long levers, extends power and generates a lot of power. And Pinner, who had really offset to the right-hand side, the ball is played past the left foot, and between him and the postman for a beautiful goal by India to make it 2-2.
What a finish from the 27-year-old. He started against the Australians. He gets a goal against England. Missed the Champions Trophy in London in 2016. Scored a couple here at the Champions Trophy in Bhubaneswar in 2014, and he's got his account open in the Hockey World League Finals of 2017. Goodfield, who of course scored that deflected goal earlier on. Gleghorn, former centre forward, now playing for England at centre back. Ward, ever industrious, ever creative, always buzzing around Sam Ward. Middleton. Middleton looks for the space, will go all the way back again to Creed, who plays the ball to Gleghorn, who is filling in, of course, for Liam Sanford. Both teams have green cards currently. Mandeep and Sanford, just a bit of pushing and shoving. Rupinder, the cheers from the Indian fans go up. And SV Sunil smashed into, but play continues. Martin. England being patient. A tough place to come and play India on home soil. Middleton. Oh, that's really, really good defending once more. Rupinder Pal Singh is having a blinder in this fourth quarter, and then what a ball to Lalit. And Akashdeep's ahead of him, but can he find him? Yes, he can. Here's Akashdeep trying to get into the D, Cedric. It's exciting stuff.
Well, what a fantastic ball by Rupinder Pal, right across the whole circle from one side of the pitch to the other side of the pitch. And then Lalit plays the ball perfectly to Akashdeep. Akashdeep cutting in, leading towards the baseline, towards the sideline. and then the ball goes off Roper's stick onto his body, and a free hit for India. But a rip in the pass ball from the left pocket right across the whole pitch to Lalit, who plays a lovely pass for Akash, who picks it up and runs inside, and the ball goes up onto his body for a free hit for India.
Reed, Ward trying to use that pace down the left, got the ball smashed into his left ankle. He has to turn around and defend. Rupinder waits over the ball. Now, time's off. Akash Chikti has got a pad issue. Happened yesterday with Chikti. It happens regularly with goalkeepers. Is that trying to calm the game down for India? It happens very regularly with Chikti.
Well, it could be that, or it could also be that, you know, his shoelace could have come out, and he's got to open up his pad to make sure that he's feeling comfortable. If he's not feeling uncomfortable, he will stop the game, because he's the last line stopper. He has to stop the ball from going in, so his comfort level with his equipment is very, very important.
Goalkeeper's most important player on the pitch, aren't they, Cedric? Back it goes to Rupinder. Cedric D'Souza, former goalkeeper, very experienced goalkeeper as well. Rupinder finds Lakra. Utapa, out it goes on the sideline.
Well, I hope we're not going to talk about my plastic teeth also, if that's the goalkeepers without masks nowadays.
Well, it's a very fair point, Cedric, because the amount of padding nowadays in comparison to the days that you played in, it's like a totally different game.
It is, because, you know, first of all, the game today is much faster, and the speed factor is also very there. The power is there much more than what we were when we were playing, because it was on grass and not an artificial surface. Apart from that, these youngsters today generate a lot of pace. So the equipment that is there today is of top quality, and, you know, we had nothing. We just had heart and no fear.
Middleton. On the left-hand side, Milton. Off it goes from Henry Weir, out, just over the baseline. Harmanpreet. We see a replay of Rupinder's celebration. Utapa literally taps the ball.
Well, a nice aerial ball played deep from the defense into the midfield. Griffiths makes a hash of it, misses it, but the ball comes again and comes inside.
Yeah, Ansel picks up the ball, but goes all the way back to Middleton. Over to the right-hand side. Good field, good hands from him. Lalit puts him under pressure. It's 2-2 here, 5.5 minutes left to go in this Pool B encounter, the second time these two have played in the last 2 days. India played Australia, England played Germany. England, of course, lost 2-0. India and Australia played out a 1-1 draw. 11 circle entries for India, 9 for England. Can one of these two get a winner? Mandy picks up Akashdeep trying to get with him. And the ball goes against England, the whistle given against Adam Dixon. Lakra, back it goes to Harmanpreet. Harmanpreet has a lot of space and time just to wait. Eventually Condon went over to try and speed him up a bit. Rupinder again looks forward. Harmanpreet all the closest to him, only on the halfway line. England very, very deep in their press indeed. Akashdeep into SV Sunil. He tries to move the ball on towards Manpreet but can't do so. And Ward for England can bring the ball away and then goes back to Brendan Creed. And India again, Cedric, have a good opportunity there but can't quite make it count on that occasion.
Well, you know, every time India gets the ball in the last pocket, they're quite dangerous. But the English also are very dangerous when they're on the break.
Nearly, but it's a long corner. Condon says, come on umpire, there was more in that than a long corner, and the umpire denies him any more than the ball from the 23, the East Grinstead man.
You know, if you look at the entire change in the Indian structure in the last quarter, was Manpreet's movement into attack. He gets the ball. As soon as he gets that, he moves forward, and that's quickness by his pace and his vision is exactly what that is all about.
Goal for England, and it's Sam Ward once more with the goal. And England have the lead here with just 3.5 minutes left to go. Well, from nothing, Ward has scored his second.
Well, that ball comes in, and you know it's played back by Manpreet of all people. The ball deflects off Sam Ward onto Rupinder Pal, gets the ball back onto Sam Ward, and he just fires that ball in, sidesteps, spins inwards, gets a center angle, and smashes without even looking up past Chitke on the left-hand side of the goal.
He's one of those forwards that you do not give an inch to, because Ward will manufacture a shot from nowhere. 57 minutes, it's timed at 3.5 minutes left to go, 3:29 in fact, and India are behind once more. They were 2-0 down earlier. They've taken off Chikti, the goalkeeper. They've got it playing outfield with goalkeeping privileges. Harmanpreet with the yellow shirt on, so he essentially takes the place of the goalkeeper, but without any pads, and will play as an outfield player. Rupinder, forward it goes. It means that India can play with more players upfield. Manpreet, cross ball, came off an English stick. It's a long corner. Manpreet, Rupinder. Harmanpreet. This is what it means, having the extra player on. It increases. No goal. It was missed by the England player. It was left by Pinner. Ignore the cheers. It doesn't count because no Indian player touched the ball in the D. Harmanpreet drilled the ball towards the D, but no Indian player touched the ball in the D. And that is how Pool B looks so far here at the Odisha Hockey World League Finals of 2017. As it stands, Germany 4 points, England 3 points, Australia in third on 2 after their draw early with Germany, and India will have just the 1 point. But don't forget, Indian fans, that the quarter-finals will be accessible anyway wherever they finish in the pool, because everyone makes the quarter-finals in the Hockey World League Finals. Rupinder, Harmanpreet. Space on that left-hand side into the D. Looking for the short corner, nothing there. England tried to come away now. Time is stopped. And a yellow card shown to Akashdeep, and that means India will be down to 10 for the rest of the game. Akashdeep, frustration for him, and probably frustration in the tackle, Cedric.
Well, I think, you know, when you're putting all your energies and all your efforts in trying to get an equalizer, and sometimes you lose your equilibrium, and a bit of frustration too, because he is expecting to do a little more from himself, and that was a clean yellow card, and he has to sit out for the rest of the game.
Ward on a hat-trick, no goalkeeper at home for India at the moment. Cross comes in. Dealt with well by Varun. Gurjant far further back than he wants to be with the ball. Manpreet, eyes up. Under a minute to go. India down to 10. Akashdeep off the pitch, Cedric. Assess the performance of this India team, because yes, they might lose, but we'll come back to that in a second, Cedric, as Sam Ward picks up off Harmanpreet and looks to clear the ball away and gets the aerial all wrong. Harmanpreet back to Lakra. Lakra on the reverse. Mandeep's trying to get in there, and it's a free hit given. It's exciting, Cedric.
Well, it wasn't a penalty corner because the ball rose from outside the circle. If the ball rose from inside the circle into a dangerous zone, then it could be in a penalty corner. The ball was deflected from outside the circle, so that was exactly why a free hit was given on a penalty corner.
Double goal scorer Ward looks injured at the end of the game after slipping after taking the error. We hope he's okay. Brendan Creed and England have narrowly won this one against India. They were 2-0 up. Rupinder helped India back to a 2-2 draw, but Sam Ward got the winner, and England end up with the 3 points. Their first win of the Odisha Hockey World League finals. Liam Sanford just leaving the shot was superb once more for England. George Pinner played well in the English goal, and Barry Middleton, one cap off his 400th, just congratulates SV Sunil on a brilliant performance this evening, and Manpreet again industrious for India. But the score in the end in Bhubaneswar at the Odisha Hockey World League Pool B match, it's India 2, England 3, and Ward's double does enough for England to take them past India. And here are the highlights of England versus India. SV Sunil crossing the ball, Akashdeep forcing the save early on from Gibson. And how the game will get better for Ward. Sanford with the ball crashed in to the D. Goodfield picked it up well, went for the reverse stick upright. Cedric, and well, he'd actually score a far more bizarre goal later on.
Well, you know, sometimes luck favors the brave, and that was the ball which came inside, deflects off a defender, and he hit the ball outside. But normally, if you look at the goal now, the ball is played in the circle. Goodfield plays that ball across the goal mouth, and it goes off the pad of Chitke, of Suraj Karkera into the goal.
There was confusion over who scored this one, but you see on the replay here, it definitely came off Karkera. Liam Ansell did not get a touch. They willed away like he did.
Well, it was the English attacking the baseline which has got that goal for them. You know, get into the circle, that's what their trademark game is.
And here, Harmanpreet slipped and Ward took the opportunity and made it too. He does not need asking twice to take opportunities like that, Sam Ward.
Well, the ball which comes into Harmanpreet has to put his legs behind that ball. He can't just keep a stick in the air. He has to get down. He has to protect that ball, especially when it's so deep in the circle. The ball goes past him, deflects on the stick, goes to Sam Ward, who sidesteps, goes past the goalkeeper, moves the goalkeeper, and fires the ball into the left corner.
And then the India fight back. Great save from Pinner. Akashdeep followed up, and Akashdeep put the ball in the back of the net, and India had hope.
Well, you know, it was all Manpreet who burned that penalty corner, and Pinner had to do much better than that. Why is he lying on the ground? Why are goalkeepers today just falling on the ground? They have been standing erect. He could have patted that ball, Rupinder's ball right to the center. He plays the ball down and falls, logging, ball for Akash, goal all the way.
And then Rupinder beat him all on his own. It was a fantastic drag flick from Rupinder, back from injury. We featured him before the game, and that is what he can do.
Well, it goes past the first wave on the right-hand side, and Pinner, it goes past Pinner's foot and the postman. Between the two, a really good penalty corner. It always gets goals, always gets dividends.
Then Sam Ward got one more chance, and just with half a yard, in it goes.
Well, you know, the ball comes inside, and Sam Ward, the ball comes from Griffith. Griffith gets the ball. Sam Ward spins Manpreet, which is actually a very difficult thing, and the ball goes, he gets into the center of the D and smashes the ball past Chitke to the left corner. The question was, a spin allowed by the Indian defence?
Indian hearts broken, and these were the statistics. 2-3. Well, that's the really important one. India had more shots, they had more possession, they had more penalty corners. They put 2 of the 5 away, and they had more circle entries. They also had one more card than England. England with 2 greens, India 2 greens, and that yellow for Akashdeep near the end. Final score, India 2, England 3, India still winless.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now start the award ceremony of match 6 between India and England of the Odisha Men's Hockey World League Final, Bhubaneswar 2017. The International Hockey Federation would like to thank Hockey India and its partners for hosting this event at the Kalinga Stadium here in Bhubaneswar. The award for the Ujjwala Junior Player of the Match with 25,000 rupees will be presented by Mr. Chaudhry Biswa Mohan Mishra, Deputy General Manager, Chemicals, ONGC. And the award for the Ujjwala Junior Player of the Match goes to Harmanpreet Singh of India. The award for the Odisha Tourism Man of the Match with 50,000 rupees prize money will be presented by Shri Ashok Chandra Panda, Honorable Minister, Tourism and Culture. And the award for the Odisha Tourism Man of the Match goes to Sam Ward of England. Sam, could we have a few words, please? Sam, a considerably better performance in just a day from the match against England. What did you do different?
It helps on a few more players, if I'm completely honest. Obviously, yesterday, 3 men down, so a couple of them back makes a big difference.
Had to keep your cool. India did come back into the match, but you saw it through.
Yeah, definitely, obviously fantastic. It's great work ethic from the boys, and just fantastic to grind out a result.
Sam, excellent performance by you. We wish you and the team all the best.
Thank you very much.
That's all from the presentation ceremony. Back to you, Dan.
Fantastic performance from Sam Ward on the man of the match, and Harmanpreet superb once more. That's how Pool A looks here at the Odisha Hockey World League finals. Belgium with 1 win, Spain as well, the surprise of the day, beating the Netherlands, and Argentina, of course, who didn't start well against Belgium and ended up losing in the end to the silver medalists from Rio 2016. And Pool B, Germany sit top of it in 4 points from 2 games. After that draw against Australia, England, the win tonight helps them out into second place. And India currently bottom of the lot in Pool B, but still a game to go for them and all the teams in Pool B. And this is how it looks tomorrow. Well, on December the 3rd, 2017, in Pool A, we'll have Belgium versus Spain, who beat Netherlands today, and then the Netherlands take on Argentina. It's a pure Pool A day tomorrow. It's been a brilliant day across both pools today here at the Kalinga Stadium, and we'll see you again tomorrow.